Okay, now let's see how to create NP arrays by stacking multiple lists. Okay. And for this purpose, let's set up a couple of lists. Okay. And then L2, okay, it has to be the same size. Okay. Now, okay, so now if I say NP stack and then say L1, L2, okay, so that will stack. Okay. Now the error is because I have to give the list to be stacked as a tuple. Okay, so these are the elements that need to be stacked. So np.stack is by default, it's going to stack one after the other. Okay. So let's call this st1 and let's look at the shape as well. Okay. So this is a two-dimensional array because there are two lists, so it puts the two lists one down, one top of the other. Okay, so there are two dimensions. Okay, the first dimension is there are two elements because there is list 1 and then the list 2. List 1 is the first array, list 2 is the second, well, the array in the first dimension, first element in the first dimension, and L2 is the second element in the first dimension. And then you go inside the array, then you get the second dimension, and there are 5 elements in the second dimension. Okay. Now, if you do NP row stack, okay, L1, L2, make sure that the L1 and L2 is a tuple, and then let's do the same thing, st2 shape and st2. So we can look at the shape of it and okay. So you see that NP row stack, row underscore stack, is the same as NP stack. They're both the same. So then there is column stack. Okay. So the column stack function, okay, you have to be careful. Now, you see that it takes each element from the two lists and makes that into an array. Okay. So you have two lists. In column stack, it will take the first two elements, pair them, and that would be the first element in dimension 1. Then 7 and 4 is the second element. 9 and 3 is the next element, and so on. When it has 2 dimensions, the first dimension has 5 elements, the second dimension has 2 elements. Okay. Now, you can achieve the same thing by specifying the axis by which we want the stacking to happen. Okay. Now, if you think of a matrix, the rows are axis 0, columns are axis 1. So if you say axis equal to 0, I have 2 axes here. Okay. So axis 0 is like row stacking. You see that it's exactly same result as in that. Okay. Instead, if you use 1, okay, you want the stacking to happen along axis 1, then that's like column stack. Then there is V stack and H stack. So NP V stack okay, V stack, there is no axis for that. Okay. So V stack just stacks them vertically, so that is like row stacking. Okay, and then we have H stack, and H stack operates a little bit differently than all other stacking. H stack simply creates, it puts everything, like a concatenation. Just puts it all in one dimension.